So Scott, oftentimes I notice that in groups, there's a lot of energy and time spent on arguing, which seems to be more interpretive or the interpretation rather than having a shared understanding.
So this actually model comes from the art of focused conversation. This is a part of the technology of participation work that is done around the world. They have some really good, I think some of the best facilitative methods that I've seen that are really brain friendly, ones that I lean on quite a bit. But the ORID method really comes from a ton of research. It's actually really the 4 ways, kind of like thinking models. And so it really starts with 4 questions. And the first question is the objective question, which is really looking at facts and looking at reality from how you see it. So an example would be, how many times have you ever been in a meeting with a group of colleagues and you read a report and some people are going, this is great, and other people are like, this is crap, and you're like, what? And then we start arguing. So all that is interpretive. So what I've found in facilitation, especially when we're trying to make a decision, whether it be a strategic plan or some sort of action, is when the proposal goes out, first question I ask is, first off, has everyone read it? Because everyone kind of reads it with their own checklist. I mean, I imagine when you're looking for stuff, you definitely have a different eye than I do. So you'll say something, I'm like, what? Oh, what do you see that I'm not seeing, right? So it's an objective lens. You're looking at the world differently. So the first question is the objective question. And again, it's just about the facts. The next question is about reflection. So this is more of the feelings that you have associated to it. And so I will ask questions like, what resonated with you as you read the report, or what didn't resonate with you? Those are all kind of feeling words. Because let me ask you this, what do you think happens if you have a negative response? How do you think that's going to influence your interpretation?
Sure.
Pretty obvious, right? So the idea is really but we want to find out really clearly. Like I was at a meeting one time and I said a word and it just set somebody off. Like the word alone triggered something for them, had a negative response, then they pretty much just threw anything that I had to say. It was around dealing with conflict, like whether you lean into it. And this person had read a book that triggered them about leaning in on something. And so immediately I said the word lean in, went into interpretation based upon her association with that experience of that book that made it that she just shut down. So objective, again, what did you see? Reflective, what was your mood? What did you feel? Interpretive, so what does this mean for you? So now you're making sense of it. And with what you mean, what are you prepared to do? The decisional piece. But this book here goes through 100 different kind of focused conversations. And the whole emphasis is to be able to slow down so we get greater understanding and make better decisions. I would say that most conversations start here. We start at interpretive, right? What we want to be able to do is move up the chain and start here, because it's just a natural process that our brain goes through. We're picking up our cues, we're making sense of it, we're creating a feeling, right? A fifth of a second between here and here, and then we have trying to make meaning out of it through this level, especially as it relates to a group decision. So when we talk about collaboration, let's slow down our process a little bit. Let's get everyone on the same page to make sure we're seeing the same things, or recognizing that what we are seeing is different, and that's what we're interpreting. And so we talk about, again, diversity and inclusion. We're all going to see something different, which is great. Let's build upon that. Let's play a little bit of an improv game, and we'll go from there. But do you have any thoughts in terms of how this might be useful for you in your world? Because you work with other groups as well.
Yeah. I think it's one of the 5 essential collaboration skills within the Radical Collaboration
Which one
program.
do you put it under?
The interest-based negotiation and problem solving.
Yeah.
Because here we need to understand each other,
right,
to understand what is the motivation behind our decisions. And if we want to have an interest-based, if we want to understand each other better, it's important to understand the process of the decision-making.
There's no question. So I was actually struggling. Which one does it fit into? So thank you for putting it in the right category, because I do think that is at the heart of understanding what are the triggers, what interest isn't being met by a certain word. So, and we'll post an exercise for group. There's one on how do you make sense of based on how a word can actually trigger your whole interpretation of something. It's pretty amazing stuff. But yeah, so anyway, that's the ORID method. Again, art of the focused conversation, technology participation. Definitely check it out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But this book will give you plenty of resources for leading focused conversations using the ORID method. So thanks.